I guess he just didn't know how to be happy. This is that one thing which they can't teach you at Howard's. Hi you guys, well I so hope that you all are in the pink of your health and happiness. This is Swati Chandak and I'm back with another book review and recommendation. Well, it has been 2 weeks of filming videos and presenting it over here on my YouTube channel, and I'm loving the journey so far, given that I was a little apprehensive before taking this idea forward, but I'm glad I took it forward and I am loving this journey so far. To all the existing subscribers, thank you so much for showering all the love and support. To all the newbies who have recently joined in, I have seen few of the people joining in after the last video I uploaded. Thank you so much. Welcome to my channel. I create content around things I love. We'll get familiar with time. To all the people who are going to come across this video, if you find it worth watching, please hit a like, share, subscribe and comment if you'd want to. It would be nice as a motivation. Well, why I started with a particular phrase, we'll get back to it by the end of the video or probably somewhere in the middle. That is something which made an impact on me when I was 20. I read this book, the book I'm about to recommend today. I read it somewhere when I was 20, and this book gave me something which I needed to learn at that particular point in time. I'll tell you, I'll take you to everything which I wanted to talk about when it comes to this book. We avid readers have a habit, to create a list. Like we all have a habit, I guess, but we have a habit of creating the top 5 list of the top 5 books you should read and top 5 authors you must come across. So Eric Segal and the book The Class tops like the second position in my top 5 list. And Eric Segal is not just a writer, he's an artist. He's the greatest artist of his generation. One cannot miss to read his ideation, his character specification, his characterizations, the way he has presented the emotions, the way he has drawn the storyline, the way he makes you, the way he connects you to the situation in a way that you cannot just tag his books to be from the genre fiction, from the genre fiction. You would want to take it as the reality he has presented in such a beautiful way that he'll swiftly take you to a situation wherein you'd feel either that particular circumstance is happening right in front of your eyes, or probably that is happening with you, or probably that has already happened with you somewhere in the past, or probably, the connections or the roots or the lines or whatever he has written might be an indication to a future situation or a circumstance of your life. He would not mentor you. He would not come and tell you that this is a moral situation or this is an immoral situation. He'll give you the characters beautifully, and he'll talk about the transitions. He'll talk about the things they are facing, from happiness to sadness, from sadness to happiness, and everything which has to be showcased and given in a particular book. There are a lot of books and a lot of people are writing. A lot of things are being written already. People are coming with a lot of scripts, and there are people wherein plagiarizing is happening. There are a lot of things which is happening. I do not want to get into it right now. I probably would make a video out of it, but the way Eric Segal has written, one must read it. Even if you have a tinge of that reading, that reading possibility in you, please go ahead, treat yourself with this book, or probably give this book to somebody you love. Please go ahead, go to your local bookstore or place an order with your local bookstore and purchase this book. This is one of the best gifts you can give to yourself or probably to your loved one. Why I am so much ranting about Eric Segal's Class is because the kind of teachings I got, the kind of things I understood while reading this book when I was 20 is probably that was needed at that point in time, I guess. We all come across a lot of definitions. There are a lot of definitions being given to us through conversations by our family, through friends, mentors give certain definitions as well. And there's this thesaurus as well. But when it comes to happiness, sadness, failure and success, we have a set patterned definition. But my definition and my understanding of these emotions changed. First, it altered, and second, it changed all because of The Class by Eric Segal. This is that one book which kick-started that change, that initiated that change. And 10 years down the line, I'm 30, like everything when it comes to happiness, sadness, or success or failure, things have changed in a particular way. I'd make a video of it somewhere in the future. I don't know, I'm not sure about it, but yeah, I'll tell you how success, failure, sadness, and happiness has a different approach when it comes to Eric Segal's The Class. Before that, let's just quickly talk about the storyline. It is based on 5 characters. I've made the cue cards over here, so we'll talk about the characters. The characters are from the class of 1958 Harvard University. The book revolves around everything they have faced in the transition of 25 years when they reunite, and whatever is happening in their lives, and the women in their lives, however things are happening, everything is intertwined, and whatever is happening around their personal lives and professional instances, it is written on an overwhelming note, and on a note wherein you'd be able to connect at some point or the other. So we would start with the first character, that is Jason Gilbert. Well, Jason Gilbert is an undefeated tennis player, and he stops his law school after his Jewish dream boy dies in terrorism back in his homeland. This is also the person who tries to unfurl his Jewish identity back at his ancestors' place, and he finds out the truth about himself and his Jewish identities in the way that has been already curtained by his family successfully for so many years. And when he finds out about everything which has been hidden till date, he becomes a hero for the country. He becomes he fights for his rights and equality, and community's rights and equalities, and this is the person whose life changes all of a sudden, and this is the person who tries to change everything, who tries to alter everything that has to be changed in his community, that has to be changed for his people. That is Jason Gilbert for you. The second one is Danny Rossi. I'm so sorry if I have pronounced it incorrectly in an accent. So yeah, Danny Rossi. Danny Rossi is a musical prodigy, and this is the person who rivaled his own brother to gain the paternal affection. Now this person gets Tonys, gets Grammys, gets Pulitzer, and he's somebody who has exhausted his hours and years in learning piano, having piano sessions. He becomes the greatest pianist of his generation and of his era. But there are few things about him. He gets so overwhelmed by the fame and by success, by name and by recognition, that there's a trouble in his marriage life. There is a trouble in his personal life as well. He ends up having a trouble in his marriage, and further he gets a neurological disorder wherein everything falls apart, and he is restricted to touch his favorite instrument. So the kind of situation that happens, the kind of graph which happens in Danny Rossi's life, takes you what success should be and what success shouldn't be. I guess you should read the book and probably get the answer of whatever I just told you, that what success should be and what success shouldn't be. The third one in the list is George Keller. Well, George Keller is an Hungarian, and he runs away from his unloving father in the middle of a war. This is the person who just gets into Harvard with one arsenal of hard work, and he doesn't even know he doesn't even know he doesn't even have the familiarity with the language, English language. And by the end of his completion towards his course, this is the person who gains the command on the language in such a way that he masters it. Because of his political prowess, this person ends up getting various positions in US government, but he fails. Everything fails in his life. Why? Because his past, like the haunting past, comes back to him again and again. There are things which are unresolved inside him. He ends up getting a divorce. His life is, all falling apart. Every time he tries to adjust everything, he's at the peak of his career, but still he falls apart. And his personal and professional life ends up in a way that it's saddening. You'd read it in the book, and wherein you'll get the idea of why the happiness should be in a different way, and why and how we are taking happiness in a different way. Probably that is one of the thin lines we have to understand, and probably this book will give you the answers which you might be searching from yours. The fourth one is Ted Lambros, where Ted Lambros is a Greek classicist, and he dreams of becoming a professor in Harvard itself. Now he gets ditched by his own alma mater, sarcastically, and this is the person who ends up writing his second book. In this entire revengeful event, or probably this entire series of events, he ends up having a divorce again. His personal life is at stake. His professional life is already falling. Why? Because of his own his own things which he's battling so much that he's unable to focus on particular aspects of his life, and which leads into a divorce and then again a parental fiasco. That is something which tells you that how a failure needs to be cherished rather than talked about again and again. This is something which I learned about failure, and probably we'll get to it, but yeah, I would want to read about his journey and then check out that what a definition of failure can be in your life. The fifth one, and this is the person whose phrase I re-quoted. This is from the book, that I guess he just didn't know how to be happy. That's that one thing they can teach you at Harvard. Like every time I read it again and again, I get goosebumps. This is by Andrew Elliott. Well, this is the person who gets pressurized by his own family, but given that, like keeping that things aside, he has a job. He is he's in a stable job. He's married. He has a family, though broken, but he has a lovely daughter who reciprocates to his love. So all in all, this, like, Andrew Elliott is one of my favorite characters from the book, but also the character that has been the least popular but the most sorted. This is the storyline. The entire story revolves around these characters and the women in their life and whatever is happening, the transition in 25 years. This is what the book all about. But there are 4 emotions. When you read this book, there are 4 emotions you need to concentrate on. First is happiness, sadness, failure, and success. And please read it in a silent corner. Read it by pouring a hot beverage, probably your favorite beverage, and please give yourself a day with this book, and probably the definitions or probably the situations, the answers you're searching all through, you might get from this book. I know books are something which are probably something which is not happening probably in the real life, but there are authors, there are writers who have written things in such a way that it replicates or probably represents everything in a way that you'd be able to connect so beautifully that you'd never want a book, a script, or probably a film to end. Why? Because you can connect to the exact situation what has been showcased. You can either feel it, that it is happening right in front of your eyes, or probably you can put yourself in the shoes of the character and you'd feel that this is happening with you. So yeah, this is something which I would really want you to go ahead and please purchase this from your local bookstore and give yourself a treat. I so hope that you guys have an amazing start of 2021, since we are waiting for 2021 with all hope, faith, and trust and love. So yeah, and make the most out of your 2 days of 2020. It has been a tough year, but let's just bid bid a goodbye with a smile. I so hope that you all stay safe, stay with your loved ones, be happy, be true, and be honest, be lovable. Bye bye. I'll see you in the next video and the next book review and recommendation.